We are living through an apocalypse. But it is not an apocalypse of fire, or flood, or war. It is an apocalypse of noise. Look around you. When was the last time you experienced true, absolute silence? Not just the absence of talking, but the absence of notifications, the absence of traffic hum, the absence of the mental chatter that screams in your head the moment you lay down to sleep. We have forgotten what silence feels like. And because we have forgotten it, we have forgotten who we are. Ancient cultures understood something we have lost. They understood that silence is not empty. Silence is full. It is a living force, a source of power. But today, we treat silence like an enemy. We kill it with podcasts. We strangle it with music. We bury it under endless scrolling. Why are we so terrified of the quiet? Because in the quiet, the masks fall off. In the quiet, you cannot hide from yourself. Blaise Pascal, the French philosopher, once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." He wrote that in the 1600s. Imagine what he would say today. This video is an invitation. It is an invitation to stop running, to turn around and face the silence, not as a void to be filled, but as a portal to be entered. We are going to explore the lost art of silence. We will look at the science of what noise is doing to your brain. We will look at the ancient Stoic and Buddhist techniques for finding stillness in a chaotic world. And we will discover why your best ideas, your deepest healing, and your true purpose are waiting for you in the dark, quiet corners of your mind. Let's begin with the physical reality. Noise pollution is not just an annoyance, it is a slow-acting poison. Studies show that chronic exposure to noise keeps your body in a permanent state of fight or flight. Your cortisol levels stay high. Your blood pressure stays up. Your brain never gets the signal that it is safe to rest. You are exhausted, but you are wired. This is the wired and tired epidemic, and it destroys your ability to think deeply. Deep work, creativity, and strategic planning require a state of mind called alpha waves. This is a relaxed, lucid state, but constant noise keeps you in beta waves, a state of high alert and fragmentation. You are busy, but you are not productive. You are moving, but you are not going anywhere. We are drowning in data, but starving for wisdom. And wisdom only speaks in a whisper. If the noise is always loud, you will never hear it. There is a concept in aviation called the death spiral. It happens when a pilot loses reference to the horizon in a storm. He thinks he is flying level, but he is actually spiraling down toward the ocean. Because his senses are overwhelmed by the storm, he trusts the wrong signals. We are in a collective death spiral. We have lost the horizon of silence. We trust the noise of society, the noise of the algorithm, the noise of our own anxiety, and we are crashing. But there is a way out. To find it, we must go back to the beginning, to the time when silence was not a luxury, but a necessity. The great Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, ruled empires. They lived in the noise of war and politics, yet they cultivated an inner citadel, a fortress of silence inside their own minds that no external noise could breach. They knew that peace is not a place you go to. Peace is a skill you build. It is the ability to stand in the middle of a screaming crowd and be completely alone with your own soul. This is the skill we are going to learn today. It is not about moving to a cave in the Himalayas. It is about finding the Himalayas inside you. Are you ready to turn down the volume? Are you ready to hear what the silence has been trying to tell you all along? To navigate this terrain, we need a map. One of the most profound maps ever written is a text called The Voice of the Silence. It was brought to the West by Helena Blavatsky, who claimed to find it in the secret monasteries of Tibet. Whether you believe in its mystical origins or not, the psychology it describes is undeniable. The text presents a paradox. Before the soul can hear, the man has to become as deaf to roarings as to whispers. What does this mean? The roarings are the obvious noises of life, the threats, the fears, the trauma, the loud demands of the ego. The whispers are more subtle. They are the seductions, the desires, the vanity, the need for validation. Most of us spend our lives reacting to the roarings or chasing the whispers. We are puppets pulled by strings of fear and desire. To hear the voice of the silence, which is your true intuition, your higher self, you must cut these strings. You must enter a state of indifference. Not indifference to life, but indifference to the noise of life. It is the state where you observe your thoughts without becoming your thoughts. You watch the fear rise, and you let it pass. You watch the desire rise, and you let it pass. And in the space between the thoughts, the silence speaks. This is what the Buddhists call sunyata, emptiness. But it is a pregnant emptiness. It is the void from which all creation comes. Think about a clay pot. What makes the pot useful? Is it the clay walls? No. It is the empty space inside. Without the emptiness, the pot cannot hold water. Your mind is the same. If it is filled to the brim with noise, opinions, and worries, it cannot hold new ideas. It cannot hold inspiration. You must hollow yourself out. You must become empty to become full. This is terrifying for the modern ego. The ego loves noise because noise confirms its existence. I think, therefore I am. I worry, therefore I matter. Silence feels like death to the ego. That is why we resist it so violently. When you sit in meditation, or just in a quiet room, your brain will fight you. It will remind you of embarrassing things you did 10 years ago. It will create imaginary arguments with people you haven't seen in months. It will itch. It will ache. It will panic. This is the extinction burst. It is the ego screaming because it is losing control. Do not fight it. Just watch it. Treat your noisy thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. The clouds come and go. The sky remains. The Stoics had a practice for this. They called it the view from above. When the noise of life became too much, they would imagine floating up out of their bodies, rising above the room, above the city, above the continent, into the stars. From that perspective, the noise of the world becomes silent. The arguments, the politics, the traffic, they all disappear. You realize how small the noise is, and how vast the silence is. This shift in perspective is healing. It resets the nervous system. It reminds you that you are part of a cosmic order that is calm, rational, and eternal. Silence is also the birthplace of resilience. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps, made a discovery. He noticed that in the midst of extreme suffering, there was a space. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is silence. If you react instantly to everything, an insult, a traffic jam, a bad email, you are a slave. You are a biological machine running on a reflex loop. But if you can pause, if you can access that split second of silence between the trigger and the action, you become free. You can choose to act with dignity instead of anger. You can choose to act with courage instead of fear. Silence buys you time, and time buys you freedom. This is why the most powerful people in any room are often the quietest. They are not rushing to prove themselves. They are observing. They are processing. They are holding the power of the pregnant pause. They know that he who speaks first often loses, and he who can hold the silence controls the frame. Silence is dominance, not over others but over yourself. In the next part, we will look at how to build this power into your daily life. We will talk about dopamine fasts. We will talk about the architecture of a silent room, and we will discover how to find the eye of the storm, even when the world is burning down around you. So, how do we reclaim this lost territory? How do we become architects of silence in a world of noise? The first step is a digital detox or a dopamine fast. You must stop feeding the beast. The algorithm is designed to steal your silence. It fills every gap in your day with a notification. You must reclaim the gaps. Start small. The first hour of the morning, keep your phone in another room. Do not let the world invade your mind before you have even gotten out of bed. That first hour is sacred. It sets the tone for the entire day. If you start with noise, you will end with chaos. If you start with silence, you carry a shield of calm with you. Use that hour for productive silence. Write, read, stare at a wall, drink coffee without a podcast. Let your brain boot up in safe mode. Next, create a physical sanctuary. You need a place where noise is forbidden. It could be a corner of your bedroom, a chair, a park bench. This is your territory of silence. When you sit there, your brain should know, okay, we are going deep now. No phones allowed, no screens, just you and the infinite. Train yourself to tolerate boredom. Boredom is not a defect, it is a filter. Great ideas lie on the other side of boredom. You have to push through the layer of I'm bored to get to the layer of eureka. Most people turn back at the first sign of boredom. Be the one who keeps walking. Practice strategic silence in conversation. We are trained to fill every awkward pause with words. Stop doing that. When someone finishes speaking, wait 3 seconds before you respond. In those 3 seconds, 2 things happen. First, the other person might say something even deeper, because your silence invites them to go further. Second, you formulate a response that comes from your intellect, not your reflex. You stop echoing and start thinking. Your words will carry more weight because they come from a place of stillness. Nature is the original silence. It is not quiet. There are birds, wind, water. But it is a coherent noise. It is a noise that calms the nervous system instead of exciting it. Go into the woods, go to the ocean, listen to the rhythm of the planet. It is slow, it is patient, it is silent. Align your internal metronome with that rhythm. The apocalypse of silence is real. We are losing our minds because we have lost our quiet. But the cure is free. It is available to you right now. It does not require an app. It does not require a subscription. It just requires the courage to turn it all off, to sit, to breathe, to listen. When you silence the world, you hear the universe. The ancient philosophers knew this. The mystics knew this. And deep down, you know this too. You are tired of the noise. You are tired of the hustle. You are tired of running. Stop. Just stop. The wisdom you are looking for is not in the next video. It is not in the next podcast. It is in the silence between the videos. It is in the silence after this video ends. Don't click next. Close the screen. Close your eyes. And listen. The silence is waiting, and it has so much to tell you.